Hey everyone, welcome to the ACE Bootcamp 2 session 2, and it's lovely to have you all. We'll be starting in a minute, so if your friends are not here or if there is anyone whom you need, you can ask them to join. Also, guys, I had circulated a form over a mail to you all. So, whosoever has not received the credits yet, please make sure you fill that form by 9 p.m. today so that Google Cloud team can make sure your credits are redeemed
Avni, you are on mute.
Oh, I am really sorry for that. Uh, okay, so let's start again. I guess you all must have received some forms and through the mail. So make sure you fill it if you hadn't received the credits yet, so that Google Cloud team can make sure to send the credits at the earliest. Check out the mail. I have shared the mail around 3 p.m. with you all. The form is sent it to all those who have registered for the ACE boot camp for the 12th of October only. Okay, so before that, before starting with Prerit, just ask all your friends to join in. Till then, let me just take you go through how you have to redeem your coupons. So you all must have received a mail which somehow looks like this, which invites you to the share group of Google Developers Program, and you just have to make sure from which email ID you have to log in. Suppose in my case, it's avni@hackerskill.com. So what you have to do, you just have to log in on the Skill Boost platform, which I shared the link on the dashboard as well as in a mail to you. So you just have to log in on avni@hackerskill.com, which is your registered email ID, and you will get the credits on. If you are not able to redeem the credits, refresh it, wait for 1 or 2 hours. If after 2 hours also you are not able to redeem your coupons, just make sure you are pinging me at support@hackerskill.com. You also can have all the material on dashboard. So this is how your dashboards look like for now. Um, so yeah, I hope this solves your doubt. You all have, I guess, received a mail. Make sure you have received a mail and a form. I repeat, it is only for those who have participated in 12th of October is boot camp. So make sure you check in which boot camp you are. If you are in 5th of November, then you will be availing your credits on 3rd of November, not now. So you have to wait till 3rd of November. And if you have participated in 12th, go and check it out. You must have received a mail with a subject steps to redeem your Quick Lips credit. You can just go on and check this mail again. This mail was shared with you a long time back. And then let's just start with Prerit now. So, Prerit, over to you. Prerit will be taking you all to the module 2 and the module 3 and the module 4 of ACE, which covers a lot of activities out of those 13. So, yes, Prerit, over to you.
Uh, Hi, everybody. So, my name is Prerit Munjal, and without taking any further time, I would like to start. Let me share my screen.
Prerit, I guess your voice is a bit low. So, if you can
Uh,
check.
is it is it audible now?
Yeah, it's audible now.
Okay, and my screen is visible.
Yeah, it's visible, but it's black, right?
Okay. Um, is it visible now?
Yeah, it's still black period.
Okay, so let me just leave the meeting and join again.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
sure. Meanwhile, guys, let's just continue with our topic.
Hello, hello,
Hi, hi,
everyone.
Satyam. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, sir. One thing I'm asking you.
yeah.
Yes, sir. ये कल पेपर है 19 को गूगल क्लाउड रीजनिंग
Mhm.
बट उसका मोड क्या रहेगा मतलब कैसे एग्जाम होगा वो हेल्ड कैसे होगा
आई थिंक हैक टू स्किल वालों का खुद का एक शायद कोई टेस्ट है, उसके हिसाब से सबको मिलेगा।
ओके
So it depends, Satyam, कि आपका मोड क्या है. अगर if it is offline, तो you must have received a mail with center, and if it is online, तो you have to install some or other softwares, and everything will be updated on a mail to you by Google Team itself.
ओके बट अभी तक मैम कोई मेल आया नहीं है
एक बार आप जहाँ पर आपने स्लॉट बुक किया था, प्लीज आप वहाँ जाके एक बार चेक कर लो सपोर्ट टीम से. इफ नॉट, देन आप एक बार support@hacktoskill पे मेल ड्रॉप कर देना.
ओके बट मैं व्हाट्सएप के ग्रुप में जुड़ा हूँ हेलो
हाँ जी सत्यम, एक बार आप प्लीज रिपीट करेंगे.
या मैम ये मैं व्हाट्सएप के ग्रुप में जुड़ा हूँ गूगल CDL
हाँ जी, तो आप उसमें एक बार प्लीज ड्रॉप कर दीजिएगा इफ थिंग्स आर नॉट क्लियर.
ओके मैम
एक गूगल
थैंक यू
फॉर्म फिल करने के लिए कोई मेल आई हुई।
सॉरी गाइस, I just muted everyone for a while. Just give us couple of just give me few minutes and we are starting with the session again. Yes, Prerit, I guess we can start with the question now.
And I don't know, like my screen is blacked out as well.
Yes, Prerit, the screen is visible.
Okay, good. Shall I start?
Yes, we can start. Everyone, please free to drop your queries in the chat box. The chat box is open.
Okay. So, first of all, who am I? I am 6 Secure Cloud certified, namely professional data engineer, professional cloud developer, professional cloud architect, professional cloud engineer, professional cloud DevOps engineer, and associate cloud engineer. I have 2+ years of experience in Google Cloud. I have worked with Google, with Samsung, and I'm currently working at Fiz Labs as a cloud engineer. I'm also the youngest Go Cloud certified data engineer, architect, security engineer, and the DevOps engineer. So what's the catch? I'm still in college. Like I'm in my last year of engineering, and I'm still in college, and I've achieved 5+ internship and FT offers from India as well as abroad. So if you have any confusion regarding the internships or placements in the DevOps and cloud domain, make sure to ping me on LinkedIn or in the chat box. So, what's the event agenda today? So, we will be covering entire ACE today in just 30 to 45 minutes. So, please pay much attention to next 30 to 45 minutes. And I will be sharing key points in between my session, and the questions will be directly from those key points. Like I will share 10 to 15 tips, and the entire like 15 to 20 questions will be from those tips only. So I will be discussing about networking, security, computing and serverless services, and containers. You can expect around 7 to 8 questions in ACE regarding containers and Kubernetes, and also about data. And in the last, we will have a Q&A session. First of all, what is resource hierarchy? Just clear your minds out. There is one organization node. In that organization node, we have various folders. Just imagine folders as various teams. One is marketing team, one is development team, one is just PR team. And in folders we have different projects. The projects can be assumed like one is for dev, one is for prod, one is for testing. So organization node, folders, projects, and in projects we can have various resources are just like compute engine, cloud run, app engine, or any other service is counted as resource in Google Cloud. So please clear your mind starting with this resource hierarchy, and one question will be from this only. You will be given four options, and like one will be not there among these. Like they can add compute engine instead of project. So remember these four hierarchies. And the next thing is, don't be afraid of billing. I insist you must do some hands-on labs, or at least try some of your at least try some do some practice on Google Cloud as well. Domain is, the site is console.cloud.google.com. So don't be afraid. Use the free tier. Google will give you $300 for 90 days. So please do some hands-on experience before attempting this exam. I personally failed once before passing the next time, and trust me, this is really one of the most tough certification. And I failed myself as well. So let's jump onto the first topic. What is VPC? VPCs are global resources in Google Cloud. Remember the term global. In rest of the cloud providers, some have regional VPCs, some have global, but in Google Cloud we have global VPCs. So what is a VPC? Just imagine VPC as your home, as your house, in which all the rooms are there. Similarly, in cloud, we have one VPC, that is virtual private cloud, and in that virtual private cloud, we create every resources, like from firewall rules to compute engine to spanner to BigQuery. Everything is created inside a VPC. So and along with this, as generally homes do have a fence, and in cloud we have the fence known as firewall. Like every one of you would be having a firewall in your laptop to protect your laptops from some different kind of viruses or malwares. Similarly, in Google Cloud also we have VPCs and firewall rules. And so these are the key things, like why we need VPC. I told you that all the resources are created inside a VPC, and by default a VPC is created that with the name default, and it has all the subnets in all the regions that Google Cloud currently supports. So it has around 28 to 29 subnets. Subnets are just you can think of a regional VPC, regional bifurcation or regional segmentation of an entire network. Like you can't create everything inside a whole geography, right? So you need to bifurcate everything. Like map also, we have India, we have Pakistan, we have USA. Similarly, in cloud also we have subnets to divide our resources in particular zones or particular areas. And the one example of a subnet is US Central 1. And in regions we have zones. Generally we have three zones, three availability zones. That is US Central 1, US Central 1A, US Central 1AB, US Central 1C. So we have availability zones inside regions, and but subnets are created for regional use only. So what is traffic? Traffic can be of two types: ingress and egress. Expect one question from this as well. Ingress is the coming traffic, egress is the outgoing traffic, and generally traffic is a very relative term. So you need to think like, we are talking to which respect. Like for me, if you're throwing a ball at me, it is ingress, but for the same ball for you is egress, because you are throwing at me. You're throwing at me, and I'm taking it. So it is ingress for me and egress for you. So traffic is a very relative term. Another thing that comes in hand with firewall rules, with VPCs, firewall rules, like I told you before, firewall rules are you like generally used to like isolate your VPC, so that a particular type of traffic or from a particular domain CIDR range reaches your VPC, so that like it doesn't create a mess out of in your VPC. Like some can perform DDoS, though we have different services for DDoS. We can use Cloud Armor for DDoS. And please make this note as well. If you see any term related to DDoS, DDoS is distributed denial of service. In that, like a particular server sends thousands or lakhs of requests to a particular resource within few seconds, so that like the incoming traffic is more and the bandwidth reduces and the service doesn't perform very well. So if you see something related to DDoS in the exam, just take Cloud Armor. Cloud Armor is a service. And yeah, so for creating a VPC, for creating a firewall rule, we need to have a VPC. VPC, like I told you, all the resources are created in a VPC. And second thing is priority. Priority is nothing like uh, it is in a range of 0 to 65535. Generally it is set to 1000. But like if you want some traffic to be given more priority, like you have some people in your life as well who you give more priority to them, right? So and similarly we have firewall rules. We give more priority to some firewall rules, some less priority to other firewall rules. Third is direction of traffic. I told you the direction of traffic is ingress or egress. So it is a very relative term. But to as per the firewall rules, ingress is coming towards the VPC, egress is going outwards the VPC. And fourth is action on match. Action on match is like deny or allow. For example, some ingress traffic is coming, so you need to tell the firewall rule like to accept it or deny it, so that we can move forward with the traffic. And fifth is ports and protocols. Like ports are various, like you can for have 80 80 80 443 22 and 3389 for various ports. It depends on your use case. Protocols is TCP, UDP, ICMP. Generally, we use these only in our production as well. But as per the certification is concerned, uh, we uh, we deal with TCP, UDP, and ICMP protocols. Yeah, this is the simple like diagram depicting what is a firewall rule, what is a VPC. In VPC, we have different rooms, uh, and I told you like before, VPC is there. So let's go have some hands-on practice. Let me share another screen with you. So please give more attention to the coming part. Yeah, is my screen visible? Yep. So I hope my screen is visible. So just look at here. We have gone under VPC networks, and here you can find VPC network, IP addresses, bring your IP, firewall rule routes. But for A certification, be specific to VPC networks, IP addresses, and firewall rules. So let's run the command to know about what are the VPC networks present in our project. So, so yeah, I had a typo. So the current we have network is default. I told you like Google Cloud automatically creates a VPC with the name default, and it has all the subnets in entire regions that Google Cloud supports. So this is the VPC. So let's see how to create a VPC. Please don't feel bored. I will share very interesting facts with you right now. So enter some name. Name can be anything, but it should be unique. Like you can't have two VPC networks with same name. Now we have to choose the subnet creation mode. It can be custom or automatic, but for our use case we will use custom, because like you shouldn't waste your IPs, or you just shouldn't create a very wide, very large VPC that you don't even want to use, right? So create a subnet. I will create Prerit VP sub 1, and in the region I will create in Asia South 1, because we are very near to it. So in IP stack we generally use IPv4, but in production use we use IPv4 and IPv6 as well. So enter the IPv4. uh, okay. So this is the like you this is one of the RFC 1918. I will tell you about this later on. You so just don't look at the side range I have provided. Now here it is flow logs, right? So VPC flow logs are generally used to like monitor what type of traffic is flowing through your VPC network. For simplicity, we have turned it off, and now we can choose the firewall rules. Google itself provide 4 firewall rules, but you can create your as well, like later on you can create, so you can add current with the creation of VPC as well. So now our VPC network is created. Now this was about VPC. Now I will shift to firewall rules. So currently Google has supported the creation of firewall rules and firewall policies, but for Associate Cloud Engineer, we need to focus on firewall rules only. You need to provide name here, and I told you we need a network. Currently, the network is being created, and it is like under creation, so we are not able to see that network, but after a while it will come here. And I told you about the priority. You can set it to 1 as well. 1 means the highest priority. 6553 is the lowest priority. So if you want some traffic from one VPC to be given more of a level or more priority, you should add the priority as one. Here you can see the direction of traffic, action on match, allow or deny. And here in targets we can define three types: all instances. This question is very important, this will come. So in targets we have to define all instances in a network. By network we mean a VPC. We can even define specified target tags. While creation of some resources, we can even add tags to it. We can even define specific service accounts, but generally we define all instances in the network. And here we can define ports and protocols. So this is about VPC and firewall rules. I think you are able to get some of it. And yeah, so let me share my slides. Yeah. So these are all the services that Google Cloud provides. These services will get appended, like 6 days back we had Cloud Next 2022. So we had more than 25 services added to the bucket. So you can like expect this list to be appended later on. So this is the a very important question. Service accounts don't like people often get like very haunted or afraid about what are service accounts. Service accounts are nothing. These are accounts that perform tasks assuming to be you. For example, in your home you have like smaller brother or sister. You tell them to bring some water from the refrigerator, or you tell them to do a chore. So similarly, service accounts are there. You just tell them to do a certain work, and in return you provide a key so that they can perform a task, and they return the completed task to you, whether it's creating a data flow pipeline, whether it's using PubSub, whether it's using Compute Engine. Everything in the backend uses service accounts. So, and one permission is very important. Please make a note of it. IAM dot service accounts dot act as. If you haven't provided this permission to a particular role or particular person, so you might not be able to use the backend service, because in the backend most of the services need to talk to each other, right? For example, you have created a compute engine. You need to write to disk. Without writing to disk you can't even perform a task, so you need to give a particular sort of permission. Maybe generally we use default compute engine, but it is not the recommended practice. Though you should create custom service accounts and then provide the permissions. So please keep this service in mind. Im.serviceaccounts.act as. Next topic is security. Security, like there are two parts: authentication and authorization. Authentication checks your credentials, and authorization, these are very important topics. Authentication checks that you are the only one, you are the right person, and authorization checks the access you have. So it's who can do what on which resource. Generally this is the one question that you will be expecting in the certification. So there are three types of IAM roles: basic are editor, viewer, owner. And predefined, there are like bunch of roles. For example, it is a data flow editor, or it is a storage admin, or there are multiple predefined roles. Like Google has certain AI, or for the they look for the people creating some service accounts, so they pick up those inputs and create a predefined service account by themselves, so that you there is no need to create custom. So third is custom. This is the recommended practice by Google itself. You should create custom accounts and give access to those, because in predefined also there are they provide broad level of access to services, because like hackers do know about these broad level of accesses, so they can take any vulnerability out. So basic, predefined, and customs. Role is a collection of permissions, and policies collection of bindings. Like there is no a role is given to a particular person or particular group. That is just IAM. No need to dive deep into this. Just think a particular role is given to a particular person, he can do something on the basis of which role he has been provided. That's it. In organization as well, you have a key, like you have access to a particular floor. Similarly, IAM works. If you have the access to a particular floor, you can go there. If you don't have, you can't go there. And apart from IAM, we have security related cloud KMS. You can expect one question from this. If you need to create your own keys in the cloud, actually there are three things. One is customer supplied keys, second is customer managed keys, third is Google managed keys. So customer supplied keys is currently, I think, not supported in India and Brazil. These are not supported. I don't know, maybe some compliance issue. Second thing is customer managed key. For this purpose, cloud KMS is used. You can create keys online there. You can make rotation. You can make revisions. You can create anything and share the key with your services. And Google Managed is by default the the type of keys that you are given. And the other service other than cloud IAM and cloud KMS is cloud, DLP API. It is very much used, but I think it is out of the scope of associate cloud engineer, because for this you need to know about what are like templates, and what is inspection job, what is, there are multiple things in DLP API. So there is no need to, just you need to know that there is DLP API. And for security, I told you, for DDoS, if you see some DDoS thing, just pick Cloud Armor. And for you can even use Cloud IAP, but I don't think that should be considered in security. It is more of a authentication thing. Okay, so IAM is done. Let's go. I was supposed to show you some demo, but I think I'm running out of time. Now, security and networking is done. The next big thing, you can expect 5 to 6 questions on this thing only: cloud storage. Just cloud storage is nothing, just a bucket. Similarly, if you go to a washroom or restroom, you see a bucket, you can pour anything in it. Like when winter is arriving, so you mix two type of water in it. So similarly, in bucket, you can store any type of data. Apart from, like, if you have a bucket in your restroom, after a certain limit, it will overflow, right? It cannot support, it cannot store more of water. But in Google Cloud, we have the bucket. The function is same. You can store anything, but it is serverless. You can expand to any level. It can store any n size of data into it. One question is this only, like, which type of data cloud storage bucket can show? Any type of data, more of objects like videos, photos, text files, CSV file, anything, you just name it, you can store it. But we generally store uh, some specific things in some specific type of storage, but you can store anything in cloud storage bucket. One thing inside cloud storage bucket is storage class. Storage classes are nearline, hold line, and archive, and one standard as well. By default, it's standard. Nearline is if you need to access your data in 30 days. This is the question, it will surely come. So if you need to access your data in 30 days, choose nearline. If you need to access your data in around 90 days, just pick cold line. And if it's more than a year, you can pick archive as well. But by default, it's standard. You can change it. And third, the next thing is lifecycle policies. uh, for example, if you want to, like, degrade, or like, you can only degrade in cloud storage bucket. If you want to degrade your bucket from nearline to archive due to some cost constraints, you have like pbs of data in cloud storage, and it is costing more than you earn. So you want to degrade it, and you can't upgrade it. This is the very important thing. You can't upgrade it. You can't upgrade the archive to standard, but you can just degrade it down the line. And the next thing is ACLs is access control lists. So it is more for a granular approach. This is also like 4 questions from will be from these only. ACLs are access control list. So if you need some granular level access to a particular object in a bucket, so pick ACLs. ACLs provide a specific access to a particular object. For example, you have uploaded thousands of images in a particular bucket, but you want a specific type of access to a specific object. You want that object to be publicly available to everyone. So you just pick for ACLs. And there is another term called uniform access. Uniform access works on the IAM permissions. I told you before, like we need to provide IAM. IAM is the composition of roles and policy. So the uniform level access works on the IAM part, and if you want some more granular access, those works on ACLs. Okay, so I was supposed to show you some sort of action, but I think we are running out of time. We are having a little time in the end, I will show you for sure. So next thing is VMs. Just imagine VMs as your laptops. Like your laptops has RAM, your laptop have disk for secondary disk for storage. You have screen, you have keyboard, you have mouse. No, mouse is not a part. So similarly, we have VMs. They are the computational power in Google Cloud or any other cloud platform. Every service under the hood uses VM only. Kubernetes engine also uses VM, and other services as well. So one question will be from this only: what do you mean by the term N1 standard one? N1 is the family type. It can be N2. Like there are around 2 to 3 types of families. We have compute optimized, we have memory optimized, we have GPUs as well. GPUs have the term known as Tesla, Tesla T100, Tesla T4, Tesla A100. So GPUs start with the term Tesla. We have TPUs as well, tensor flow processing units, but those are for more ML sort of thing. Focusing on N1 standard one, N1 is the family type, standard is the type of workload, and one is the number of vCPUs. Like CPU, like it can be N1 standard 5, N1 standard 10, N1 standard 12. It it like basically depends on your workload. You can have n number of options in Google Cloud for choosing a particular machine or particular compute engine. So data center is just like a place where bunch of VMs are there. What are servers? Servers are just the VMs. What is a VM? I just told you. So what do we need to create a VM? We need to create a name, region, and zone. uh, VM is like I told you, we have regions, and in regions we have availability zones. So in those zones, VM is created. We need to provide family type and machine family. I told you N1 standard one. We need to provide disk. By default, it creates 10 GB of boot disk based on the, I think, bird eye or something, bullseye. So Bullseye is the boot disk, and service accounts by default it creates compute engine default service account is it uses. As soon as you create a project, default service account is created, and it picks that service account only. Metadata, I don't think you will have a question on metadata, but metadata just you can have a high level overview that metadata you can add some startup script. For example, you want a VM to have a particular WordPress website as soon as it starts, or to have a shutdown scripts. For example, if you are shutting down, if you are deleting the VM, you want every data to be passed to something else, or you want everything to be flushed. So you can add metadata over there. And in network, I previously told you that we can add tags for firewall rules. If you remember, if you were listening very carefully, you can add tags, and if you add tags here, the firewall rules will be applied over here. So this is about VMs. So another thing is instance templates and groups. So instance template is just a blueprint. For example, your house has a naksha, or a house has a, you go to architect and create a map or something. So similarly, you create an instance, you have a template, and you add everything to the template except the location, because it is a blueprint. It should be applied to anywhere, any region, any zone. So for that reason, Google hasn't provided. There is no need for you to enter the location while creation. You just pick the template, pick the location, and boom, press enter, and the instance is created. like you can create identical VMs. Basically, they are used to cut down your time and the chances of errors. Uh, because like human error can be there. If you have added startup script in some VM, you can forget to add startup script in another VM. So for that we use instance template to reduce the chances of error and save your time, and so that you can work more productively on any other task. And another reason for creating instance template is to easy rollback or easily update. For example, you have a fleet of VMs, you have 1,000 VMs, you can't update everyone again. You can't apply patches to everyone, but like one by one it will take you like n number of days. But using instance template, you just need to create append the instance template or create a new one and create another fleet as well. Instance groups are of three types. One is managed instance groups stateless, managed instance groups stateful, and unmanaged instance groups. Managed are of two types, like stateless and stateful, but you can count them as one or count them as two. It depends on you. Basically, they both do different functions. Stateful is for databases. If you want to run a database on your VM, you can use stateful. You will have a different IP unless you use stateful. service mesh, anything. You can run multiple containers inside a pod, and multiple pods are inside a node. Of any type, like in GKE you can create multiple node pools. There is a term node pool. A particular node pool contains similar type of nodes, so you can have multiple node pools as per your choice. So we have multiple containers in a pod. We have multiple pods in a nodes, and replica sets and deployments are pretty much same. They track your, like, the number of replica means the copy, the photocopy of your running machines should be same only. If they somehow, either through some bug or either through Google's maintenance work, it goes down, then replica set or deployments create one another same type of node. Unless you deal with some stateful applications, you can lose data. But there comes the concept of volumes as well. That is out of the scope of the certifications. But replica sets and deployment is blueprint. It is like instance template only. So what are services? Services are used to expose your deployment. Deployment is the work, is the, like, all the workload to outside world. Services are of two to three types. One, the very common service is node port. uh, Second one is cluster IP. Third is load balancer. Please focus. I think I may sound boring, but please focus. There are three services: node port, load balancer, cluster IP. Cluster IP is for internal use, for internal communication. Load balancer is just based on cloud. You won't even apply. You can apply, but generally we don't apply load balancer service type to outside of the cloud. So uh, load balancer service type is generally used for internal communication. Cluster IP is for internal. Node port is like people use node port if they are not on the cloud and still they want to expose it to public. So ingress, it gives like domain maps, but there's no need for going that much deep. Just container pods, nodes, replica sets, deployments. Okay. And what is serverless? Serverless is something that increases or decreases, or like you can say it scales up or down automatically. So serverless, people often think like there's no servers, but it can't do anything. So with serverless, there is services scaling up and down easily. So for your thing, there are three types of scaling. One is horizontal scaling. Horizontal means number of machines gets increasing. Vertical means the size of the virtual machine or the source get increasing. And multi-dimension horizontally and vertically both gets increases. This is another benefit of using GKE, Google Kubernetes Engine. You can have multi-dimension auto scaling. You can have horizontal pod auto scaling. You can have vertical auto scaling as well. So you can scale. You have to perform everything inside one code base only. But in microservice we have different components, and the components talks to each other through API, and you can scale up or down individual services as per your requirement. So this was our microservices. So we can deploy containerized application on GKE or Cloud Run. But in GKE we need to create a cluster, we need to create a cluster. But in Cloud Run, you just deploy your workload and that's it. You can run microservice application very easily. Second thing is about cloud. Second service is cloud function. Cloud function is released now, like as of today. cloud function is of generation 1 and generation 2. Generation 1 was released 3 to 6 months back, I guess. And the major advantage of generation 2 is that it is built on the cloud run. Just imagine a service built on another service. So cloud function generation 2 is built on cloud run, and it comes with all the advantages of cloud run, like traffic splitting. You can split traffic inside a cloud function. That is so amazing. Like cloud function is just a, you write function, you write code, right? So you need to write any function in cloud, and but you are defining similarly you define in cloud even performs traffic splitting. So this was about cloud function. Cloud function is just a function. You tell something, for example, you face some question in your associate cloud engineer, and you can't even get close to it. Like what it is saying is, it is saying, if it's saying to do a particular task, if it's saying, for example, to switch on the VM at a particular time, or if the problem statement is saying the send the data from a VM to a disk at this time, after this is happening, pick cloud function. Because generally what I have seen in certification exams, like you can't get like 100% 100% of the questions. You if you're getting an intent that if the question is telling you to do something at some, after something or at some moment, you can pick cloud function only. And the third service is app engine. App engine, I think it is very basic. You deploy any application on cloud, you can deploy it on cloud, it on app engine. App engine is of two types, standard and flexible. Flexible is more like costly, you need to yeah. So there is one question will be from this only. So the difference between standard and flexible is that for standard there is no hard and fast rule for running any instance, but for flexible you need to run at least one. And scaling is very like time consuming in flexible, because like you need you can't switch it off like standard. So scaling is very fast. You can scale it to zero in cloud, in standard app engine, but in flexible app engine you can't scale it to zero. And also in GK we have standard and autopilot. In standard you need to define everything, but in autopilot you just need to define few things and done. Autopilot was introduced few months back only, but expect standard questions based on standard only in your certification exam. So we are heading towards the last part on what is hybrid connectivity. Similarly, if you want to go from one house to another, you take a road. Similarly, in cloud we have three types of hybrid connectivity. One is interconnect, second is VPN, third is peering. What is RFC 1918? RFC 1918 is a very important topic, and it is a set that was reserved for private use only. For private use, you can think of like some other person can't get into your network and hack things. It is just meant for private connectivity. So you just take a screenshot and memorize these three ranges, because in the next or in higher certifications you will face a lot of questions on this only. So in Google Cloud, just here to me this the next four lines very carefully. In Google Cloud, RFC 1918 is supported by RFC 1918. Peering doesn't support RFC 1918. So if in questions, if in a question it is there, you need RFC 1918 or mention any of these three ranges. Just and you need some hybrid connectivity from on-prem to your cloud. So eliminate peering because it doesn't support RFC 1918. Now comes the let's distinguish between interconnect and VPN. So interconnect is used when you are very near to Google Cloud regions. Currently, we have two. One is in New Delhi. Second one is in Mumbai. So if you live very close by, so you can use interconnect. But if you want your data to be traveled through internet, if in a question it is mentioned that you there is no need for high capex, capex is capital expenditure that is used for like, if in interconnect, basically what we do is we create a LAN or a VLAN, and we lay it down, like you have seen like Wi-Fi is getting underground, so we lay it down, and we connect it to Google Cloud Data Center. So obviously laying a whole bunch of wires, it will cost us a lot. So if it's in question, like you don't need to spend much, pick VPN. VPN is used when you want to transfer data over internet, but through encrypted channels. Obviously it is encrypted. For like there are multiple things. You have to create a cloud router, we have to create tunnels and everything. So this was the difference between VPN, interconnect, and peering. And data. Where is my data? So one question will be from this: if you have more than 1 TB of storage, and you want to transfer your data from your data center to Google Cloud, and if it's greater than 1 TB, use transfer appliance. Okay. If it's greater than 1 TB, use storage transfer service. So it is a service which can be used to like transfer from AWS to Google Cloud, from data center to your Google Cloud project only. And if it's less than 1 TB, you can use gsutil command. For your GK general knowledge, gsutil command is deprecated now. There is one another command, gcloud storage. So we perform we will be performing the storage related task using that, and that command is really fast. Internally they have built the services that it is 14 to 16 gigabytes per second. So the gsutil command. So gsutil is deprecated, but you can use it in the coming months. I think they will totally deprecate it. And if you have data greater than 20 TB, you can use transfer appliance. Google will send you a box. You just need to plug in, send your data, ship it to Google. Google will manually transfer your data to Google Cloud racks or storage service. Type of structured versus unstructured. Particular schema is there, unstructured no schema is there. Example is given. Those a table is an example of structured. Unstructured have emails. You can have forms, or you can have social media surveys, everything. And which type of storage? Take a screenshot of this slide, because it like 7 to 8 questions will be from this only. uh, if it's in question, like you need to do some transactional task. Transaction word is used in the question. Just eliminate all other options except Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner. And the difference between Cloud SQL and Cloud Spanner is that Cloud Spanner is global. Like global means everywhere. It is everywhere. Cloud SQL means SQL instance in every region. Unless Cloud Spanner is a global one, so you can just one instance in every region. Studied computer architecture. So it is in Google Cloud. It is memory store, memcached, and Redis. Like there is no need to get deep into it. If you come across anything known for, like they need super fast access, either it will be based on Cloud CDN. Cloud CDN is cloud delivery network, content delivery network, or cloud delivery network. Anyone. And second thing is memory store. So we have done with SQL, Cloud Spanner, memory store. If you come across no unstructured data or semi-structured data, pick Bigtable. Another thing, very very important, if there is IoT word or IoT key in your question, if it's given like you need to stream IoT data, for example, you have to stream IoT data from your ATM or from your CCTV to cloud, so just pick Bigtable. Why Bigtable? Because it is a wide column database. The difference between databases is that wide column database is that it can have like, there is no fixed schema. There is no you can have basically it groups particular family into particular data. Like, there's no need to get deep into it, but it is designed to have high reads, high writes, like millions of transactions, millions of observations per second. So it can do it very well. So if it's high ingress means coming to cloud, pick Bigtable. And for any other analytical task, choose BigQuery. BigQuery is the like Google Cloud is very known for BigQuery only because it is serverless. You just upload your data set, run some query, and it will return you the entire thing. So analytical, and for analytics it is BigQuery. I told you about OLAP. OLAP is online analytical processing, and OLTP is transactional. OLAP is just OLAP is BigQuery only analytics, and OLTP is Spanner and SQL. Power of Bigtable, I told you, it's wide column database, high writes. So if there is some streaming site sort of thing, choose Bigtable. Analytics in Google Cloud, BigQuery, BigQuery ML. BigQuery ML, just don't just ignore this part. It is out of the scope. Just BigQuery is the answer. For BigQuery, in BigQuery you create a data set. In data set you create table and you run query. That's it. And if there is some terms partitioning or clustering, so if it's in question is given that you need to fasten up your query, or you want to enhance the queries, so just pick clustering or partitioning. I don't think clustering or partitioning will come in SSD Cloud Engineer. So these are other services. Artifact and container registry are used to store your, for example, Docker. If you know the term, images. Just think of a image. You have one image in your like you click a picture, it is image. So the image is of a particular thing, right? It captures everything. Similarly, in cloud we have images of a application. It captures everything, and we store those images in artifact registry, container registry. The difference between artifact registry and container registry is that the artifact registry is the new version of container registry, and it can store anything. Like it can store jar files, it can store any other dependency file. The container registry can only store images. Then cloud code is the cloud VS Code version of Google Cloud. Uh, Other services are data flow. If you see any term regarding Beam, Apache Beam in the question, or if there is any question between streaming or batch processing, anything. For example, it can tell you that you have to create a batch service taking data from cloud storage to BigQuery. Any term, batch, stream, processing, and Apache Beam. Pick data flow. Data flow is the Google version of Apache Beam. Dataproc is the if you see any term regarding Apache Spark, Apache Hadoop, pick Dataproc. You can do any sort of task, ATL pipelines, or if you want solution, or the compute, if you want to compute the value of pi. That's a very common example for Dataproc. You can use Dataproc. PubSub is a alternative Kafka. Basically it is a messaging service. So if you want, it works on pull and push basis. It's a very small topic, you can read it online as well. So so if there is one term called messaging, or if there is pull or push written in the question, so it is for PubSub. There's no need to cram anything, just I'm giving you high level overview so that you can get a little bit about it, because I can't teach everything in 1 hour. And PubSub is the messaging service. Data prep is for exploring data. It is out of the scope. Marketplace is there. Marketplace is there. Marketplace is just a market hosted on cloud, giving you the solution for all the solutions. For example, you can find MongoDB Atlas over there. You can find WordPress over there. You can find Drupal, any like most of the service over there. And Google continuously upgrades the marketplace. You can buy the service. Obviously, they will cost you more. But if you need some enterprise level thing running on cloud, you can opt for marketplace. You don't expect any question from this. What could possibly, okay, now we are done. What could possibly go wrong during the exam? Your system may crash. Personally, I my system also crashed, like you saw in the beginning of this session. Second thing is video audio feed interrupted. Yeah, my advice would be to delete the antivirus. Just delete it. Don't turn off firewall or just disable it. Just delete it for one day. At your own caution. So you can delete it because it will interrupt the system, because they have the access of a laptop for the entire time. So it will interrupt them for sure. And if they feel any, the AI feel any interruption, it automatically suspends the exam. Though you can start the exam once over, but why to waste your time? So just delete the antivirus and make sure to uh, don't use any like your company's laptop or systems. Just opt for Windows and deleted antivirus. Third, don't move your eyes like here there. No eye movement. Just focus on the exam. Your eye movement can be caught. It will give you 3 times warning, and after that your exam will be suspended. Fourth one is unauthorized material found, so don't even try to do that. Put your phone aside, and before even starting the exam, she or he will have, they will have a total view of your room in which you are sitting. No one should be there except you, and they will have a look at under your desk, your walls, your everything, your floor as well. So exam not launching, you can I don't they will provide you the link only if the exam is not launching. Kaishiran, I think, is the exam provider, so you can talk to them if your exam is not launching. The windows of exam opens before 10 minutes of your book time, so don't sit idle 30 minutes before the exam. So just 10 minutes before and 15 minutes after, I guess. But after SSL Cloud Engineer, role-specific certifications, there are many like professional cloud architect, DevOps engineer, security engineer, network engineer, machine learning engineer, workspace administrator. There are like 9 more certifications other than ACE and CDL. So get internship ready and build some really good, amazing projects. These are all the certifications. But after cloud, you can like cloud is just 10% of the task that we do. 90% is either Kubernetes. So Kubernetes is the thing that you must focus on, and there are multiple resources. I do share things on my LinkedIn as well. If you need any guidance, you can ping me there. And Kubernetes, do make sure that is on your highest priority after cloud. Some scalable projects, or you can learn even Terraform if you have some interest in coding. Though you can find templates anywhere, but if you have some interest in coding, then opt for IAC. And there are multiple tools: Ansible, Splunk, Jenkins. But according to my experience, there is no need to learn multiple tools. Just learn Docker, Kubernetes. Docker, that too not very hard and fast tool. Just Kubernetes, a little bit Docker, a little bit of Jenkins and Terraform. That said, there is no need to learn multiple tools. I will learn Ansible also. I will learn Chef also, Puppet and Chef also. I will learn everything. There is no need. And if you need further assistance, you can contact Hack to Skill team. Can contact me on LinkedIn. Here's the QR code. You can scan it. And the last thing, focus on self study. Please, please, please don't take this exam very lightly. It is, I failed like after 8 months of prep, I failed. So this is one of the most toughest exam. And please read documentation, and yeah, all the very best. You can scan it. I hope you have scanned the QR code. And
Yeah, so
yeah,
Prerit's LinkedIn is in chat box also, so guys, you can connect through that with him also.
yeah. So it's time for Q&A.
Guys, feel free to drop your questions so that we can answer them. If you have resources could be provided, we have some resources in dashboard. We be uploading this to there. So yeah, there will be resources provided.
Yeah, if you need specifically for associate cloud engineer resources, I'm sharing my one of my post link in the comments. You can have a look over there. I have shared more than 20 resources, so you can have a look over there. I am sharing now.
So exam will be online and offline both. Ayush, it depends what you choose. If you are choosing on-site, then it will be offline. And if you are choosing remote, then you can give it online. As Prerit mentioned, there would be some prerequisites if you are opting for remote, since you'll be needing a good system, a good network connection. So yeah. So for those, again, for those who have not received any kind of credits, I had shooted a mail to you. I'm sharing my screen again to just let you know uh, what exactly and how you're gonna proceed. So
Uh,
a share group, so you can just log into your account through this on the skill boost, and once you're logging on to the skill boost through the same account, this credits will be there as redeemed. Also, if you have not, then I guess we have also mailed you uh, the form where you can share, and others the resources will be mentioned. I'll be posting the Prerit's post for ACE resources on the fourth column also. So yeah, feel free to check the resource section. We be If you have any doubt, I will request Prerit to join the Discord channel also, so that you can just tag Prerit and Neelam both and ask your queries.
Again,
Now, if you guys have
2 to 3 doubts. I
happy
think there are much good doubts are there. So yeah, the average starting package for like cloud or DevOps engineer is 8 to 9 lakhs CTC base. You can calculate for 6. But if you have certifications, as per my experience, I have I can't disclose the number, but I have received 3 times, 3 to 4 times the increment. I was like having the package 1 year back. So after having certifications, your credibility really increases. But certifications is not the only criteria. Either you should have a good working experience, or you should have at least some certification will have for sure, they will help you, but it is not the sole criteria. So either have some work experience or some good certifications. And why are you choosing Google Cloud? Google Cloud, actually, I started my journey with Azure and then shifted to Google Cloud. But Google Cloud is the future. If you see the current trend or the current scenario, most of the services with like in 2022 Ministry of External Affairs, or I think Ministry of Home Affairs, had a collaboration with Google Cloud for next, I think, 5 to 6 years. I can't remember the ministry name, so pardon me. But they are having a very big collab. Airtel is also in collaboration with Google Cloud. So Google Cloud is expanding a very fast rate, and along with this, Google is offering its internal services to you. So there is one term known as standard network tier and premium network tier. So premium network tier you can use in Google Cloud. It is by default. So premium network tier, Google lets you use its internal network. So how cool is that? Like you can have the speed of what Google is having right now. So it is enabled by default. But yeah, so this is the major advantage from rest of the Google vendors, that Google is continuously improving itself. They are giving you premium tier access. Like not every like I know Azure very well, but I haven't like experienced this much speed in any other vendor. Yeah, so there is one 15 question official Google Cloud sample questions on the documentation. You can attempt those, or you can have multiple website offering those. Viz Labs, Pluralsight, many more are there. Quick Labs doesn't provide. Viz Labs, Pluralsight do provide. What do you mean by internship ready? So internship ready is the term, like if you are into college, you must be looking for a internship, right? Yeah, you can give it on Mac, but my personal, I also gave it on Mac, but I faced a lot of difficulty because the software that did tell you to download it in your laptop, that is quite complex, and it takes the entire access of your microphone, of your camera, and your background processes. So I had to shut down my Mac uh, for this only. Yeah. How to get internship in cloud field? One basic project. Use I'm naming the service. Use cloud DNS. Use cloud DNS. Use cloud load balancer. Use MIGs and cloud buckets. There is no need to build any pipeline. Just a basic project with all the 6 7 services. Uh, there's no need to build a microservice application if you're still in the third year of your college, even fourth also, because microservice architecture is very much complex. You need to build a API, you need to build different microservices, so it is quite complex. But if you have a if you know HTML, CSS, JS, React, anything, vanilla JS, anything, so just create a application, deploy it in cloud. That's enough. One certification, associate cloud engineer, is damn good, and you are internship ready. Recently land, yeah, Adani by Google, yeah. 12 is a OS, but they don't provide the software for 12. I personally, my laptop is running in 12 only. They don't provide 12 uh, for these like certification. I don't have that because I must have used 12 only. I shifted to Windows for just for the certification. Sir, you recommendation for HS and cloud field. Be a little more clear. Recommendation for fresher. Just focus on focus on networking. Have a very strong networking skills. Like you should know what is router, what is switches, what are bridges. Though they are not much related to cloud, but you should know what is RFC 198, how to create a cider, how to what are class A, B, C, what is RFC 1918, what is VPN, how to configure a VPN, that is a cloud router. So you should be very good in cloud and with networking and security in cloud, right? So these two are the only thing. And third thing is Linux also. For Linux, have some basic like idea about the command line interface, for certification course. Just a couple 2 3 questions I will take. good certification course, you can try Coursera, but I think that's much outdated because Google Cloud is evolving at a very high pace. Like in previous 1 month only, we had 5 services: Cloud Batch, distributed systems, multiple services were there. So Coursera is outdated. You need to read from documentation only, because no one is that much free to create append the courses ever and ever. So just go for documentation. If you know Hindi or Urdu, Hindi or little bit English, so you can go for technical Guftugu channel. Yeah. Last question. So I have a good experience in cloud workspace. So is this better for after getting? Yeah. So just go for associate cloud engineer and then go for cloud workspace. I personally also have to give that. I will share my experience with you. No, you can't pass the exam in 1 month. You need at least 6 to 7 months. Yeah, my part is done.
All right. Thank you so much, Prerit. Where do we have to attend the quiz tomorrow? So I guess the quiz supposed to be there on 27th of October, but we be definitely extending some deadlines since a lot of people have not received the credits yet from Google Cloud. So we be expecting the deadline for quiz to be 30th or 1st of November. And after that, you can book your slots for the exams. As Prerit suggests, take your time to prepare yourself best for the associate, since it is an important exam, and definitely be it would be hard to prepare for the same. For the CDL boot camp, we be starting on 20th again, which will be the boot camp 2. Those who have not attended CDL 1 can join us at CDL 2 again. Exam depends totally on when you have to get. We be sharing the coupon, which will be valid for 1 month. So you can redeem any date, book any slot uh, in that 1 month according to your preparations, according to how you feel like. So that totally depends on you. Again, requesting all those who have not received the credit, please make sure you are filling the form by today 9 p.m. That is like you have just 2.5 hours left for the same. So yeah, rest. Let's just meet on 2021st for the again the last session, for which where we will be completing the fifth and sixth modules. So yeah, see you all there. And regarding the Google Fair, let me just connect with the cloud team if we can do something, some special passes for you. We would love to share it with the Bangalore guys. All right, then, guys, it's a wrap. If you face still any issues, tomorrow there was no quiz, so I guess nothing is postponed. Neither the CDL and neither the ACE. Tomorrow is nothing on both ends. So feel free to share any update we be mailing or dropping the updates on Discord. All right. Thank you so much, Prerit, for your time. It was really lovely having you again today.
Thank you, Avni. All the very best,
Thank
everyone.
you.
If you need me for
Uh,
anything.
the form is mailed to you, to those who have registered for the 12th of October ACE. All right, guys. See you on 21st. Bye bye.